Hi everybody, happy Valentine's Day. This is Sandy Wilkin from Jackson, Ohio. And today I'm going to be talking to you about a thrifting trip that I made a couple days ago in Columbus. I'll tell you some of the thrift stores at the end that I went to and tell you some nice places to go to find really reasonable stuff to use in your junk journals. And that's what this video is today. It's about my junk journal haul from the thrift stores in Columbus, Newark, and Heath, Ohio. And on my way home, I stopped in Lancaster. So that's several of them that I went to, and I want to show you some of my finds. Oh, by the way, this is one of my necklaces I make. This is a Valentine one. I make a lot of jewelry too, besides junk journals and stuff. I make a lot of vintage crafts and steampunk style jewelry and stuff. So I really enjoy all these crafting, and I do so much crafting and running around that I don't even have time to take my Christmas down. So you can see I have all this Christmas still up in the background, but my crafting and stuff is more fun right now than taking down my Christmas. So I'm going to get started here. First of all, some books that I found. Now, not all these books do I cut up or put in things in junk journals. Some of these I keep or resell in my booth at Logan, Ohio at the Antique Mall. But this one I love, and I have done a 12 Days of Christmas journal. I sold it a long while back, but it was a golden book. But now look at this. This was $1.50, and it's a 12 Days of Christmas in a pop-up book. I mean, it's just gorgeous with the fourth day, the first day, this is the fifth day, the sixth day, the geese are laying, and then you've got the cows of the eighth day, the maids are milking. I mean, look how neat these are. To just, for a child or for anybody just to sit around at Christmas time and have them opened up. So that's one of them I got. And here's another one. This one just floored me. I just had to get this pop-up book, Animal Homes. Now this thing is fantastic. I want you to look at how that opens up. Those are the foxes there. And then it has a little thing here that you pull, and the turtle's head, I think this is the one. No, that's that one where the turtle's head pops out. I thought that was it. Oh no, here. It's down here. There. Look at the little turtle's heads popping out. And then there's a little flip up here for some kind of anthill or bees or something that you pull out and see their teeth. And then the next page, all of this. This is a woodpecker, and it looks like a squirrel leaping out, and one here is coming in and out of its hole, its creatures. There's another pull out. And here's another pull out here for the woody woodpecker is pecking on the tree. I mean, I can't believe this, how beautiful it is. And then the next one, I want you to look at this. It looks like a Baltimore Oriole. The nest is up in the air, and then there's this snake up here, and you pull on that, and the snake's head comes out. Is that cool or what? And then this is a little thing here that kind of flips up, and then over here this pulls out, and it's a little bird getting a worm there. And it's just full of this. It's just gorgeous. There's its nest hanging down, and there's the bird. And then the next, this page I love. This is the beehive. Look at those bees on that beehive. How cool is that? And I think this one, this pulls out. And, the bee is getting nectar out of the flower there. Nectar out of the flower. And then this kind of just folds down and flips back up. And then the next page is the beaver on the pond. And this is cute. The beaver tail flaps up and down. Is that cute or what? And this folds down, and there's some more beavers in their nest. And here is a flip out here that shows, that one's coming out into the water from under the weeds there. This one's eating. And then this, I think this is is there one more after this? No, this is the last one. This is the owl. And then this is a prairie dog burrow here. And that shows the prairie dogs going down into their burrow. Is that cute or what? And then this is just the owl out in the desert. And you don't have anything else. But I just thought that was beautiful. And I'll tell you that right there. well, I'll probably sell in my booth in Logan because that is a really cool book that somebody could buy for their child, and it'd be something fun for them to do. Okay, and that book was only $1.50. Then I'll start showing you, oh yeah, here's two of my golden books, and I buy golden books when I can get them reasonable. This one's $1.20, and this one I think was $2, but I don't think I've got Beauty and the Beast, and if I do a Beauty and the Beast journal, I'll have this book. And this is so cute, these little hippos. Where do kisses come from? Now, wouldn't that be cute for a Valentine's Day one, or a Mother's Day, or anything like that journal? So those are that, and then some other books I get. Now here's a book that I'm always looking for books to cut up to use in my journals. This one was one on lettering. Now, you wouldn't think that I'd find stuff in there to cut up, but I've already started cutting stuff up. When I get home, I have to sit and watch TV and start cutting, but I mean, look at some of these things for background paper that I cut out of that book. I mean, that, and then had all kind of alphabet on the back, but I love these to use in different kinds of journals. They would be great in a black and white one. I've already done a couple black and white ones, and that one there. And then just, this right here is really cool. It's got hot dog signs and scales and signs that you could use. This is another one that says art show, gallery, another small art show. And then some more really cool letters, and look at this one, and it just goes on and on. And I thought these were kind of cool. You could even use those for tags in a journal. And there's another good background paper. And so it just goes on and on like that when you find things that you can cut out. But this whole book was just full of, there's another one, alphabet, types of alphabets and lettering. So that would be really great to use for journaling cards, tags, whatever type journal you're making and you need some kind of background papers for it. And then this one I got, I think that one was, oh, this one's a free one. In one of those stores, they had free stuff out on the outside. So that book's free. And then this one was $1.99. It's Collage from Seeds, Leaves, and Flowers. And I already started cutting in that book. And I found all kinds of really cool images to use in journals. Some unusual little things, like you cut out small things and you can use them in collages. And these could be used in, there's a black and white one, in journals or in fall ones or seeds or plants or botanical journals. Just all kinds of different things there. Here's some bigger, oh, there's a really pretty seed one. Look at this one here, how pretty that is. I mean, these are just wonderful to make your journaling cards, bookmarks, or belly bands, bookmarks or belly bands out of that piece. Just beautiful things, and these were all made from seeds. Somebody has made this stuff, these pictures and stuff, just beautiful. And look, this is another nice one that would be good in a botanical journal or a plant journal. So that's another example there, that book. Got a lot of cool stuff out of that. And then this book, 99 cents fabric samplers. Oh, I've already got some stuff out of this to use in my sewing journal coming up. I've been making some ephemera for my sewing journal, but this thing was full of, and oh, there's another thing I do. If I see words I can use, I cut them out too and keep them in baggies. Like here is games people play journal. This had the word pumpkin harvest journal. Just the word journal I can use on tops of my journaling pages. Harvest journal, boys journal, hearts journal, just the word journal there. And then here's pictures that I can use in a as a pocket or something in a journal about games. And I'm going to do one pretty soon. Here's one I can use for tag in my sewing journal that's coming up. And this was another one for sewing. These are just cut right out of that magazine. There's a little sewing machine thing. And here's a pin cushion and all kind of sewing things there. This would make a nice topper on top of on a journal cover. Lots of things out of that book. There's a sew journal. I'm going to need that one pretty soon, so I'll put that over there. And because I'll be making that journal. And I'm going to make it out of sewing patterns. I bought a couple sewing patterns too. I'll show you those. These are Butterick patterns. I'm going to take the entire front and back and put it on cut it out and put it on a file folder and reinforce it with clear contact paper and make that for my cover, and then make a signature inside. I've made these before, and I just love these sewing pattern journal things. And of course, you got all the stuff inside to use too. You got your tissue paper. You got these directions that you can cut up and make tags and stuff. I've already made some ephemera for my sewing journal, and I'll have to show pictures of that sometime soon. But anyway, this one's little babies. Wouldn't that be cute for a little baby journal? Anyway, that one was $99 and $99. Okay, then here's this book I'm not going to cut up, I don't think, because it's fantastic. How much was that one? Oh, 99 cents. The Noah's Ark ABC and 8 other Victorian alphabet books in color. You won't believe the pictures in this. I want you to just look at those gorgeous alphabet card pictures. And what the weird thing is it says what these, what they have in here, and it's, it has an index of, it has alphabet of trades, people's jobs, railway alphabet, alphabet of flowers, farmyard alphabet, and so on. The globe alphabet, Louisa and Louisa's alphabet. I'm telling you, they are absolutely stunning. And I don't know whether I'll be able to cut anything out here or not. It's so neat. But I may have to use something out of one of these. Look at the little girl there with the little white coral bells and so on and so forth. This is the railroad section with all the railroad pictures. The railroad alphabet. How cool is that? But anyway, that's another book I found. I have to buy these cool books. This one is Sewing Machine Fun for Kids. And this one, again, I cut a few things out of this one to use in my sewing journal. Like this little thread thing, little things. This one here, it's kind of cute, a note. Here's a sewing basket I might use in a journal. And here's a maze where you connect the right color cord to the sewing machine. This would be fun for kids to do. And it has some answers to this one. And here's another one where you have to find the thread that is Fred's thread. And what's funny about this one is it ends up being this lady over here, and they say her name is Frederica. So that's Fred's thread. It goes to Frederica. I already did this maze. And then here's a word search. So I may use those in this journal that I'm making right now, or I may use these in another journal, who knows. But anyway, this was all full of learning how to sew for children. And let me tell you, I have a friend that's in some of the journaling clubs in Columbus. I'm in the one in Hilliard, Ohio. And Amy up there has promised to look for me a sewing machine on Marketplace that I can operate and teach me how to sew. So this book for me is going to come in handy on how to sew, because I want to start sewing my tags and journaling cards and pockets and stuff, because I've never done that before and I want to be able to do that. So this is another magazine I found. Let me see. Did I see how much that one cost? That sewing machine book was $2.99. And then here's a quilter's newsletter book, and it is full of really cool quilts and appliques, and I think I did maybe cut out a few things to use in this too. Mostly there's some horses I thought would be pretty, and some beautiful things for my Bohemian journal. I like the really bright stuff for boho journals. And then there's a butterfly on that picture. And here's a quilters.com. That's kind of cute to be something on a tag. And there's a unicorn. So, I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff you can find in these books if you just look through them at the thrift stores, and you can get them very reasonable. That one book I got for free. Now, this one here was $2. I don't usually pay that much for those, but I thought, oh, well, I'll get that one. That's not really that much. Now, this was a real find. Michael's Book of Paper Crafts. This thing, it has every kind of paper craft that you would want to do. I'm trying to think where the price tag is on that. I didn't pay a whole lot for that, though. I know I didn't. Probably $1.99 or $2.50 or something, not much more. But oh, it's got every kind of paper craft from quilling to ribbon to lace to and the basic pop-up cards, keepsake invitations. And boy, did I start finding stuff in here. There's some numbers I can use. Here's a little quote. There's the word photo. I use all those little words like on some of my envelopes where I let you put have people put their memorabilia and photos and stuff. There was one I needed in my Angels journal. Girl talk, more journal. Here's garden journal, memories, gallery, notes, all kinds of stuff there. Then more pictures that I can use. Now I use these frames a lot. There might be somebody else's picture in there, but you can cut that out and just use this frame. This would be great in a Bohemian journal. And then like here's some blocks that have been decoupaged. And here's something that can be used for a belly band. It's cameos. And this just goes on and on and on. This stuff, and this cute little sewing thing. And I love this clock made out of measuring tapes. How cute is that for a pocket or a fold up or in the middle of a journal? And just all kinds of pictures again, frames and stuff to use. Look at this look at that butterfly made out of, I think that was made out of beads. And then there's Happy Spring. That would be nice on a journal cover. And then there's a dragon, and there's another angel thing. I could have used that in my angel journal, but boy, I put enough in that angel journal if you watch that video. It's on my Sandy Songbird Emporium now. More frames. Look at these cool cards. These are artist trading cards, and I love to alter trading cards. There's some ideas. Oh, this is cute too for a sewing journal, the wash out on the line. I'll keep that over there. And look at these collaged things that can be used. You could just cut them out, put a backing on them, and have them for a journaling card in a journal. It's that easy. And this, just think, you can get all this stuff for hardly anything at these thrift stores. It's so much fun. I just love it. Okay, now another thing in the book line that I have to share with you, is I buy journals that are already journals, and I redo them, repurpose them. And you've seen some of my videos where I do that. This one is Shopping is My Therapy. This would be a great one for a fashion journal, ladies journal, just a fun miscellaneous type journal. This was $1.25, and I love the pink pages. Now see, I use a lot of this stuff out of here in other journals as writing spots. And I love that straight paper. Here's one here. Paris is always a good idea. This would be great for a travel journal. $1.99, and already has the little Eiffel Tower and stuff at the top of your writing pages. All you have to do is glue other stuff on these, tear out. You'd probably have to tear, if you just use this cover and everything, you have to tear out a good many pages. And then by the time you put your pockets and everything in, because they make it pretty thick if you're not careful. But that's another one. That was $1.99. Here's one, Do What You Love. Now this is nice because it's got the ring binders, and I've made a lot of journals that way. This already had some nice tag board thick stuff. You could make tags out of that. Backs of your journal cards to write on. 99 cents for that, and it also has a closure already there for you. And then this one, of course, would be a great for hummingbird or botanical journal. Again, ring binder. And now the things in here, I probably won't use these because they're just address things. But I'll take those out and use the binder to make a nice journal. And that was $1.99. So that's all the book stuff I got. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you was kind of like miscellaneous stuff. Here is some construction or, craft paper. And these were, I think, 10 cents a sheet or something like that. And there's a wonderful one with hats and stuff and tea things. This is beautiful for a spring garden. You can use that as a writing spot. Here's one for... one of these days, I'm going to do a book with trucks and cars, a child's book, a little boy's book, and this would be great for that book. And this will be good in my sewing journals for a writing spot, or make tags and stuff out of that, or background. That could be folded up and put right as a signature in the journal. That's probably what I'll do. Then this is the wheels on the bus go round and round. It's got a place for you to put your little picture in there of your child if you want to. That'd be cute for a kid's journal too. And here's another one for a nursery rhyme journal. The old lady that lived in the shoe. And there was one for the 4th of July, or patriotic. Again, flower one or spring one. Here is, that's still the old lady that lived in the shoe. So I had 2 of those. And this was Humpty Dumpty. So this would be great in a baby journal or a nursery rhyme journal. And I am making a nursery rhyme, little girl's baby journal, so I might use that too. And then this is another one I can use probably in that sewing journal. Then this was 49 cents. I just thought they were kind of like a file folder thing, but I ended up being file folders, sort of, that just have a divider on them, and then they open up this way. So again, you could use these in a signature, cut them down, and you'd already have pockets. So they could go right in, be sewed in a signature. And I like the feel of this paper because it can be used for other things besides a folder or pocket in a journal. So that was 49 cents. And then this whole pack wasn't even opened. These were 99 cents, and they're all colored ones with holes in them, and they open up. So these could be used as this could even be a journal cover. This could be used. This is nice enough for a journal, or the inside. And look at these, have writing spots on it. It says notes up there, so you could even make that into a journaling card. And here's another pretty one. Here's another one. All these came in this folder. Just wonderful. Just another thing to use. And this is a whole pack, brand new pack of grid paper, ruled grid paper. That would be something cute to use in journals, because I like to use different kinds of papers in journals. Ledger paper, grid paper, teachers' grade book papers, plan book papers, all kinds of stuff. And then here's some stationery. I can't remember how much that was. I think 99 cents or something. This is all baby stationery. So that would be good for a baby book. Maybe the one I'm doing with the nursery rhymes, I might use a sheet of this in there. And that can be folded also to make part of a signature. So that's the papers I was able to get. And then let's look at envelopes is another thing. Oh, envelopes is a big thing in my journals. Now, there is a thrift store in Newark. It's called St. Vincent de Paul, and it's on Wilson Street, Wilson Avenue. And then down the street is the Goodwill that goes with Newark. So there's 2 you can go to right away. But these were 25 envelopes in these packages for 54 cents. 54 cents. And I'm telling you, these are the nicest envelopes. These are just plain brown. They look like paper bag color, you know, that brown type of paper. But boy, is this stuff ever great. And these ones, some of these have, oh, these are cute. Some of these have a blue flap then, and, you know, they have a little deliver to up there. But these can be used to make all kind of pockets. I use these all the time. You can tear those up and use them in collages because you need this kind of background a lot of times. And envelopes, I use them all the time. That's one of my go-to things in junk journaling are envelopes. And then this packet, oh, I love the colored envelopes and the ones with pictures and stuff on them, because I use them all the time in my journals. This is gorgeous here. That's a nice one. You can use them as envelopes where you just put this down under your paper, and then you have a flip out. This can go on the other side of the paper, and it makes a tuck spot from the other side of the journaling page. Sometimes I just did a workshop up at Hilliard where we folded the envelope this way and cut out the ends and made a little pocket. Like this, we cut off the ends. There was a pocket there, and then when you open this up, we put a little bit of glue here, and one there, and then you push this up, and on the inside you have this pocket and this pocket. And then if you put it on your page this way and glue it in, you have another tuck space there if you don't glue that top one. So, oh, envelopes, I just use them all the time. And here's another one. This has a scene on it. Look at this beautiful one here with the flowers. Oh, and this is pretty here. That's beautiful in a Victorian type journal. So, I mean, that just goes on, and there were 25 of those gorgeous, gorgeous envelopes in there. Butterfly one, sunflowers and everything. And here's another pack of them. I'm not going to get them all out, but it said fancy envelopes, and they are. Another 25 in there. And then we have another pack of them here. So 54 cents a pack. You can't go wrong on that. And then here was, this was also 54. And these were brand new note cards that you can use as a journaling spot and also a pocket. And they're owls. And those owls are darling. They would be good in a bohemian journal too because of the colors of them. There's different ones. There's a kind of a yellowish top one, and there was a blue one, a purple one. Look at that purple one, and this gold one. So these are note cards for journaling spots. And then some more note cards I bought. Let's see, those were 54 cents. A few more packs of note cards I got was this little pack here. It was $1. And these are beautiful. They're embossed with no writing on them. And then a nice journaling spot. And they come with the little cream-colored envelopes too with them. Kind of satiny like. Those probably were maybe to use as invitations for a wedding or something. They're gorgeous. And then some more note cards. Let's see. Now, this was some note cards that was a little pack not been opened, 99 cents. Has a smiley face, and then this is a writing spot that says hello. You can use that in a journal, or you can make a little notepad out of that. You could use this little notepad in one of your pockets as ephemera. Then I knew I was going to, at one of the shops in Heath, there's one called Sophie's Thrift Store, and I think it's a Humane Society, but it's a very nice thrift store in Heath, on the main road there through Heath. And theirs were four cards for 99 cents. Now, I got these little thank you cards because they had dinosaurs on them, and I do have a dinosaur book I want to make sometime. And this is a cute way to make a pocket. I did these up at the workshop in Hilliard too, where you see how that works. This goes here like this, and this goes this way. So you glue that little flap right there. Those little flaps together, just right there. Then when you open this up, you have a pocket there. And then you have a place for writing there if you want to write, have a writing spot. And then these are glued down, this little spot. And then you have another pocket. And then you just glue on the edge of these and leave this open. And that makes a little belly band there. This is one of the cutest things that I use that I got from Natasha on Treasure Books. If you ever watch her junk journal videos, that is a wonderful site. Go to Treasure Books junk journal videos on YouTube. And watch Natasha, she's a genius. And then these little cards could be used as writing spots, and I'd probably cover the thank you up with something else. And then here was some more from that place, and I like these two to be able to use for the same type of thing. Look how pretty that would be. And then those would close up, and this would close this way, and then you could decorate the outside and decorate whatever you want here. And look how pretty these already are. You don't have to do too much to them. Sometimes I put a little flower or a little round circle or a little emblem in the middle. It looks really nice. And so those came with thank you cards too. And those were all those ones for whatever it was, four for 99 cents. Here's another beautiful card with the hummingbird. And I knew I needed that envelope. And I love this one. I like this long one. Look at that for a botanical journal. Isn't that gorgeous? That little envelope. This one, I think I'm going to make one of those ones where I turn it to use for my sewing journal. Except this time, I might use this side and have a pocket there. And then just cover these over because it's kind of upside down. But I like that rickrack at the top. Anyway, anytime, and then cut this out and have pockets there. I think I'll use that in my sewing journal coming up because it looked like rickrack, sewing rickrack. Okay, so the next thing I found this was a real find. These were McCall's pattern note cards. I want you to look at these things. Aren't those? And I cut out these little figures and put them in on my cards and stuff. And you can use the card the way it is. It had the envelopes with it too. And I don't think, oh, look at these pattern envelopes. I want you to look at that. The envelopes look like the sewing patterns. Those will be great to use in my sewing journal. Look how many you got. And then each one of these was different. There's the orange ones, the purple ones, the blue, the yellow. And I've already used some of these already to make other things. I've cut out the figures and put them on tags and stuff already to get ready for my ephemera. But this whole box was $2.19. Perfect for my sewing journal. I'm just so excited about that find. I'm telling you. And then we've got cards. I always look for playing cards, 99 cents. This is 79 cents. Care Bears. Now, when do you find Care Bears anymore? They're kind of vintage. But look how cute those would be in your pockets as ephemera if you did a child's journal, a baby journal, if you did, any kind of journal that you need ephemera, cute ephemera, you'd have those Care Bears and the different colors. And you can make journaling spots on the back of them or just leave them the way they are, use them as ephemera. Then I love this tug of war game for 99 cents. Look at these cards. These are different kind of dogs. How cute, how cute. So if you're doing a dog journal, look at that poodle. There's several poodles in there. And then a bulldog, and there's a lion, and just really cute cards. Again, that could be used in an animal journal, a child's journal, a dog journal, especially a dog journal. And I've made several of those too. The Pokey Little Puppy Journal, I've done that one, several of them. And then here was something cool I found. And this was only 99 cents. These are napkins. Now, napkins are used to decoupage with on things, but these are shaped like fans. How cute, how cute. They could be cut down maybe and made as a corner pocket, or they could be glued onto something. Just really, really neat. And then these were cool. These were 99 cents, three-dimensional dinosaur cards with dinosaur pictures. And I can also, you'd have to have 3D glasses maybe to really see the three-dimensional, but they'd be cute for ephemera in a dinosaur journal, that's for sure. And I've made one of those, but I may make another one of those, so I always keep my folder full of my dinosaur stuff. And you can just take manila folders and make folders for your different pictures and stuff you cut out and label them so that you'll have stuff when you're making your journals. Now, I'm almost done. But I am going to show you some of the sewing stuff because I always go to the sewing sections. And I bought some doilies, real cheap, and I cut out the different things out of the doilies and use those on pages or as decorations or as clusters. Like you can put one here and something else there and put a focal point in the middle and make you some fabric clusters. So I'm always looking for doilies to cut up and use as trim in different things. And I'm going to use a lot of that in my sewing journals. And here was some more trim that I found. This is nice and wide. I use trim on the sides of my journals, on the edges, and as pockets and as belly bands. And then this one was a whole bag. Now that wasn't very much. I think that was $1.29. And usually the doilies are like $1.50. Maybe $2 if it's a fancy doily, but you can find them. This whole bag of stuff was $1.99. You will not believe what all's in here. All of these different trims were in this one bundle here. Then this whole thing of this beautiful lace ribbon. Then little bows, and this was another type of ribbon. Here is one that looks like Care Bears, or something very similar to it. Little smile, little animals, silk ribbon, satin ribbon. And then this is just full of this different ribbon. I'm not going to take them all out, but there's little Scotty dogs. I love this trim. Look at this. This trim has got pearls and flowers on it. Look how pretty that would look on the edge of a journal. A floral journal, botanical journal, any kind of journal. That is really pretty. So this was a whole bag full of this type of stuff for that amount of price. So look at the stuff that you can get out of that and make stuff out of. And then, oh, this was beautiful too. Now, I took a piece of this off and cut some of the flowers out of it. But look how much of that I got for $1.99. I want you to look at this. How beautiful this lace is. It can be used to cover a whole page. It could be used as a pocket. It can be used as trim. I cut a piece of this off the other night and just cut all those little flowers out. I think that's where I got this piece right here that I should. Yeah, it is. Look how that could be used on the edge or on the bottom of a page or on the side or anything. Okay, that was $1.59 for that whole bundle. And then, I'm almost done, believe it or not. This was 99 cents, and I thought this was really neat ribbon too. This would be good for a closure to put around a Bohemian journal. I like that ribbon. It's got that wire on it and it makes it really cool when you tie it. Then I will be doing, I don't usually pay this much, but you got 3 of these for $3.99. Bumblebees. I will be doing a bee journal this summer. Look at that with the beehive pattern. Look how much you got there. And then this was bees. I mean, this will make it good to be used on a journal cover, as a belly band, and other trim, as a closure, what have you want on your bee journal. And then these were punches. And these are expensive when you try to buy these, Hobby Lobby or something. This was a $2 snowflake one. And here was a $1 star one. You just put your paper in there and you make all these stars. And then here's a butterfly one. Butterfly. Oh, I got one thing down in here at the end. And it's some little earrings that I bought for 99 cents. But you know, I'm going to use them in a Bohemian journal for part of the tassel. I think those will be gorgeous. So that's it. That's my haul this time. And the stores I went to in Columbus were the Cancer Society Discovery Shop on Kenny Road. Wonderful, wonderful place. Also, the Volunteers of America on Henderson Road. And then in Heath, I went to Sophie's Thrift Store. And then in Newark, I went to St. Vincent de Paul on Wilson Street, the Goodwill on that street, same street in Newark. And also, there's another St. Vincent de Paul on Main Street, West Main Street in Newark. You have to go all the way downtown and go around the square and keep going. Finally, you'll come to that thrift store. You didn't think you're ever going to get there, but you will. And then I stopped at the new Goodwill. They have a new Goodwill in Lancaster. They actually have 2 Goodwills, and I only got to stop at one of them. But I had a good time. Bought some other cool stuff, too, but it wasn't related to journals, but stuff I can sell in my booth in Logan, Ohio. So listen, bye, everybody. Just remember, keep junk journaling, and you can find all this good stuff at thrift stores for your journals. Bye-bye.